Energon. Yes.
Hello, this is Ken. I like making things. I love finding affordable ways to DIY a variety of things. Money can't buy everything, except maybe figures. I love collecting figures and recreating iconic scenes. Every figure deserved to shine on my display. So every week I ask myself the same question, and answer it by creating something I'm proud of. Join my weekly adventure by subscribing to my channel. Leave your feedback and suggestions down below. I often get inspired by your comments, and I hope I can inspire you too. Last week, I did some touch-up on the Infinity War Captain America figure, making him a little less cartoon-like. Check it out. So, I've always loved toys ever since I was a kid. I wanted to play with the characters I liked from various cartoons. But if I were to pinpoint a moment where I really started collecting figures because I wanted every character from the same show, it was 1996, when Beast Wars came out. This show shaped me to become who I am today. Let me explain. Beast Wars was one of the first fully CGI animated TV shows. The first one was Reboot, and it was produced by the same Canadian company, Mainframe Entertainment. Being a kid who grew up with the Canadian Cartoon Network YTV, these shows made a huge impact on me. I thought the CGI was the coolest thing ever, and Beast Wars is the reason why I love 3D things so much. Combine that with little me fully believing that Toy Story was real, that toys are conscious and have feelings. This made me appreciate toys at a completely different level. I just wanted them to be loved and taken care of. This Optimus Primal figure was the leader of my toys for quite some time. I still remember how excited when I got him. It took me a very long time, but I managed to collect every character from the show over the years, even the original figures for Optimus and Megatron. Today, I want to focus on the fearless leader, Optimus Primal, and the honorable Dinobot. Okay, this isn't actually the original Dinobot figure. It was way too popular and was always sold out. Luckily, I got my hands on the newer version and I was very satisfied. They look just like they did on the show. At least that's what I thought back then. But they did the unthinkable. They actually made show-accurate transformable versions of them. And being a huge Beast Wars fan, a lover of toys and CGI animation, I had to get them. And today, I'm going to make a diorama display for them. So, can I make it? The scene I want to recreate is from the very first episode, when Dinobot confronted Optimus and challenged him to be the leader of the Maximals. They had this battle on this rocky bridge area. Okay, the animation is a little bit outdated by today's standard, but the technology was still at its primitive stage in 1996, so it was epic to me back then. The battle ended when Megatron interrupted them by shooting missiles at them and revealing that the planet was full of Energon, the energy source that they are fighting for. This is the scene I'm recreating, and there's no better way than to recreate it with a 3D model. While I'm recreating the model, let me just take this moment to thank my mom. In a way, she spoiled me with toys ever since I was a kid. She would always go to the toy stores with me. Maybe she didn't want me to have tantrums or cry, or maybe she understood my weird obsessive passion with toys. Either way, she always made excuses for me. She would get me the toys I wanted as early birthday or Christmas presents, and I would open them and play with them secretly beforehand and put them back when she's home, pretending that I was waiting patiently. As a kid, I always wanted more toys, and blamed her for not getting every single toy that I wanted. But now as an adult, I'm just so grateful that she's been so supportive when it comes to toys. Even though I'm a full-grown adult now, she still has never toy-shamed me. And I'm also aware that not every kid gets to have toys, and I was a very fortunate child. So without my mom, I wouldn't be the toy-loving guy, I wouldn't be fixing figures, making dioramas, and this channel wouldn't exist. So thank you, Mom. Alright, back to the 3D model. To go with the 1996 CGI aesthetic, the display will be made out of giant polygons. The more angular, the better. I also wanted the mountain to be connected to the bridge, so it's just all one piece. And of course, I need a couple of Energon crystals. After all, that's the whole reason why there's a Beast Wars. Alright, here's it printed. Time to cut. And fold. I do want to clarify, my mom hasn't bought me toys for quite some time now, because I can afford them with my own money. I truly do appreciate every figure that I own, including my childhood toys. The original Optimus figure is already a quarter of a century old, and he and the other Beast Wars toys are still in great condition. I just want to clarify so you don't think I'm a very spoiled person. Okay, back to the display. This one is relatively easy to fold and glue. However, I'm hoping that this paper display will hold both Optimus and Dinobot's weight. That's another reason why I'm making this as one connected piece instead of separate pieces. I'm hoping that the structure will be rigid enough and not collapse. Triangle is actually the strongest shape, so I think this angular display will be somewhat sturdy, but we won't know until it's finished. All I know is that this is huge. I'm gonna need to find a spot for this. Alright, here's the mountain with the peak exposed for the energon crystals. Now if my calculations are correct, this should connect to the bridge perfectly. Hiya! There we go. Here's the display all glued together. Here's the moment of truth. Let's see if it holds both Optimus and Dinobot. Oh wow, this is huge. Ah, it works. Nice. All that work didn't go to waste. Okay, now I'm wondering if this display is too big or too small. Anyway, let's finish this by folding up the energon crystals. Alright, there they are. They look quite organic, nice. Now before I paint these, I'm gonna add a coat of polyurethane to stiffen it up so the paint doesn't warp the paper. Be right back. Ta-da, I'm back. Turns out polyurethane yellows over time. But now I got a solid structure that I can paint on. I'm gonna need a couple of coats. The polyurethane makes the surface a bit water resistant, so the paint is acting a little weird. It should look fine after a few coats. Next, I'm gonna add some highlights back to highlight the wireframe of the 3D model. After all, this is supposed to be CGI. Then I'm gonna add some grassy texture onto the bridge area. I'm just going to dab a bunch of random paint everywhere. Alright, so far so good. And now, time to paint the energon crystals. I don't have any purple paint, so I'm gonna mix some blues with some red. I wasn't able to mix the right shade of purple. The crystals are slightly bluer in the show. I think I can add the blue after this coat. Next, I'm gonna add the same purple onto the mountain, to give off the illusion that the energon crystals are glowing. Let's see. Nice, looking good. Now I'm gonna add some more details onto the crystals, to give them more dimension. Oh wow, they look so good. They look like they're glowing. The purple color works really well against the earth tones. Now to add the final touches, I'm going to add a glossy varnish over the crystals, making them more reflective and crystal-like. Here they are, all varnished. They look so good. They may be my favorite part of this display. Hiya! I added some final touches onto the mountain, making it more of a snowy mountain just like the show. Now let's put the crystals in. Oh wow, that looks unreal. They almost look computer generated. The display looks really good as a whole. Okay, time to put the figures onto the bridge and recreate their fight from the first episode. First, the stare down between Dinobot and Optimus. Now let's put them into the fighting poses. Oh man, I can feel the tension in this battle. One wrong step and the fight's over. This feels surreal to me. I've seen the show probably hundreds of times since 1996. I've reenacted this scene with my original toys many times as a kid. And now when I look at this is what I saw as a kid when I was playing with my Beast Wars toys on the couch. It's like seeing my imaginary world come to life. This scene isn't really an iconic or classic scene, but for me, this scene and the intro was the reason why I got into Beast Wars and started collecting toys and fell in love with 3D animation. What is your passion? Did you have a passion for something when you were a kid but had to let it go? Or are you still following your passion and dreams? Let me know down below. Give this video a like and make sure you're subscribed. There was a time when I thought I was going to be working as a 3D animator as a career. And there was a time where I felt ashamed for collecting toys. But now I can proudly say I love toys and I love 3D things. And the best thing is, I can combine both and make the things I love. Stay inspired, and I will see you next week. I can make it, so can you.